Peanut butter falcon. Peanut butter falcon. He's a peanut butter falcon. Peanut butter falcon. Peanut butter falcon. Peanut butter falcon. He's a peanut butter falcon. We in. What it do?
Oh yeah.
Hello, friends.
Oh yeah.
Welcome to the Chris and Kyle show. He is Chris. That makes me Kyle. This is spoilers for I think one of my favorite movies I've seen this year.
Dude, I'm fucking
The
so
Peanut Butter
excited
Falcon.
to talk about this,
The
man.
Peanut Butter Falcon.
I'm so fucking excited to talk about this movie.
So, The Peanut Butter Falcon, I probably should have already had those pulled up.
Yeah, if you were
If I was a better podcaster. The Peanut Butter Falcon, it's okay. I searched it really recently so I can find it fast.
Yeah.
Peanut Butter Falcon, written and directed by Tyler Nilson and Mike Schwartz. And I know from a Reddit AMA that part of the reason they made this movie was because they believed that the star of the film, Zach Gottsagen, it's spelled like Carl Sagan,
right?
But G-O-T-T, so I'm going to say Gottsagen. Gottsagen, maybe? Yeah. Who plays Zach.
Uh-huh.
They were like, we believe that this dude can be the star of a film. Mm-hmm. And they reached out to people and they just sort of worked their asses off to get this movie made for him, basically, because they believed in him. Mm-hmm. And they were hella right.
Yeah.
So not only is Zach Gottsagen in this, the people that people would recognize, Shia LaBeouf, who, we've said it before, I'm going to say it again, he might be nuts, but the dude's an amazing actor. Dude, he's amazing.
Let's bring people into, like, for those that haven't seen this movie yet, don't know anything about it.
Yeah. They don't, dude. Props. The synopsis doesn't even mention Down syndrome. It just says Zach runs away from his care home and makes his dream of becoming a wrestler come true.
Okay. I don't see any problem mentioning.
No, it's just like kind of like
that's interesting that they did.
Interesting. Zach has Down syndrome and he is unhappy in his situation because the government has basically forced him to live in an old person's home where Dakota Johnson's character works and is friends with him and helps take care of him. Mm-hmm. He, with the help of Bruce Dern, escapes and meets Shia LaBeouf's character, Tyler, who is a troubled, sad, but like not sad either. You know what I mean? Like, he's a good dude. He's a hero. Yeah. He's a good guy. Oh, that scene was so good. Yeah. He meets Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf promises to help him get to the redneck. What is it? The saltwater rednecks wrestling school. Yeah. In Saltwater Redneck, played by Thomas Hayden Church. Mm-hmm. Flashbacks of Shia LaBeouf's brother, played by John Bernthal. John fucking Bernthal
kills it in his role.
He never even says anything, and he kills it. Meanwhile, the whole time, John Hawkes and Yellow Wolf are hunting Shia LaBeouf down for burning down their fucking crab traps.
Dog, how do you not know what Yellow Wolf looks like?
Dude, I know one Yellow Wolf song, and the art on the song is a drawing of a child. How am I supposed to know what he looks like?
How do you not know? Like, when you see the most tattooed individual on the screen.
I didn't know Yellow Wolf was in it.
We had talked about it before.
I forgot.
We talked about it on the
He popped up in the credits, and I was like, what? And I assumed he was the tatted up guy. But I had to ask to make sure.
To be fair, I forgot that Yellow Wolf was in the movie until I saw him on the back of that truck, like, smoking a cigarette.
Oh, okay.
With John Hawkes. Mm-hmm.
But not when he first showed up. Dude, his name.
That was when he first showed up.
Oh, okay. Dude,
like
his name
when you
is
see him on the back of the
Rat Boy.
Rat Boy.
Get roasted. Your name is Rat Boy. All right. I'm gonna give you a lot of time with this. Okay. I'm gonna give you a lot of time with this because I know this is like close to your heart, and we just got home and you scribbled down a whole bunch of notes. Yep. I said at the top, I loved it. I think it's one of my favorite movies I've seen all year. It's so full of heart and just love. And it's just so happy and fun and like, but it's not like without its
without
conflict and gravity to it. Yeah.
Well, without
especially coming from Shia LaBeouf.
Without conflict, without humor, without self-awareness,
dude. Zach Gottsagen is fucking great. Yeah. He's funny. Yeah. He has moments of real, like, deep vulnerability. Like, he's so good. Yeah.
So those
I want to be invited to his birthday.
Those that don't know me and are listening to this podcast, my older brother has autism.
Hi,
which
Craig.
Is obviously different from hey Craig. I'm gonna call you tomorrow, by the way. But
Which when this comes
turns
out,
out I would have felt already
Yeah.
judged. So.
nice chat.
Which obviously autism is not the same thing as Down syndrome, but with spending a lot of time with Craig, I spent a lot of time volunteering with Special Olympics. A lot of time volunteering with this chorus for the mentally disabled called Friends Chorus.
Yep.
So I hung out with a lot
Dude,
of people
shout
with
out
Down
to
syndrome.
what is the teacher's name at Jensen? What is the
Connie
teacher?
Dane.
Shout out to Miss Dane. She's amazing.
She might be one of the purest hearted
She is the
people I've ever met.
what's her official title for the class?
Special education
Special
teacher.
education teacher at
Yeah.
Jensen Beach High School. She's amazing.
But she like runs the entire program.
Yeah.
She runs the Friends Chorus.
incredible.
And just is very, very just ingrained with like making all these kids' lives better. And and just hats off to her. She's one of the greatest people I've ever met.
She's a real Eleanor.
She's a real fucking Eleanor. I'm gonna start off at the top with saying that this is a fucking good movie.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, this is a good movie. So like, even if you have zero,
Yeah, if you have zero interest in or any connection to
special education,
Yeah.
to people who have Down syndrome or mental disabilities or anything like that, like
Yeah.
you are going to like this movie. I'd be hard pressed to find
the
anyone
the
who
theater
isn't-
did a round
Yeah.
of applause thing.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't always happen at a movie theater.
It's just straight up freaking good.
Yeah.
Man. It has a ton of heart. There's just solid connection, and it doesn't.
the chemistry between Shia and Zach is amazing.
And it doesn't pull its punches at all. Like there's like just plenty of like cussing
Yeah.
and just like dirty, like
degrading.
they get drunk.
They
and
get, there's
fucked
like
up shit.
degrading actions towards Zach and stuff.
Yeah. And I just fucking really, really enjoyed that. So beyond like the Down syndrome aspect of it, right? The fact that like he sort of became this brother to Shia LaBeouf's character, who spoilers
And
lost.
this is a spoiler episode. It's okay.
Lost his brother,
His
who
older
was played
brother,
by
John
John
Bernthal.
John
Yeah.
Bernthal, of his own doing because he fell asleep while drunk.
Yeah.
So
God, that
I
movie
had
was so sad,
there was
dude.
legit 4 things in this movie that were like very directly tied to me in a weird way. A lot of weird comparisons. Obviously, the brotherly like mentally disabled aspect,
Yeah.
right? Like being able to hang out with someone and having those kind of interactions. It just like immediately like that. I mean, obviously that was the thing that I was most drawn to with this movie. But halfway through the film, like once they started, like I like really like sunk into their relationship. I just instantly like missed my brother. Just instantly, I was like,
well, and
I started thinking about
there's a
Craig.
real turn of a moment in the movie when like Shia LaBeouf literally says like, we needed some ties that bind, and we're both men on the run, and that's
God,
it.
that's such a fucking good scene.
Yeah, it's amazing.
We're both men on the run.
Yeah, it's so good. There's a ton of great scenes, but that whole like
Yeah.
the way Shia LaBeouf's character acts towards Dakota Johnson's character all the time is
Yeah.
so funny and
Yeah.
good. He's like
His
just like,
fucking performance.
he's
throughout the
incredible.
entire,
Shia LaBeouf is an amazing actor.
It's so fun. And this might be one of his best performances. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Like he's done like
I think my favorite scene was the hero scene, where
Hero scene's fucking incredible. Oh my God.
they were on the beach at night, and him and Zach are talking, and Zach says he would be a bad guy if he was a wrestler because
His family.
he has his family he thinks left him, but like
Right.
they couldn't afford to care for him properly, so it's like this really sad situation.
Right.
And he says, because my family left me, I'd be a bad guy. And Shia LaBeouf's like, not everyone whose family leaves them is bad.
But then that's another thing. It's just like fucking hit home for me. Like,
Yeah.
and it's just very common with when you have families like that.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times those kind of things can happen. My mom was told to put Craig in a home.
Really?
Yeah, when he was young, like when he was diagnosed
Wow.
with autism, she was told to put Craig in a home, and she was like, "No,
Yeah.
it's my son. I'm gonna take care of him."
Good work, Mom.
Yeah, love you, mom. So there was that, right? Fucking love interest from Richmond. I don't know if you caught that.
I didn't think
right?
about that. That's
Yeah,
kind
I
of
was
weird.
like, I was
okay.
like, okay, that's strange.
She didn't go to GW though.
No, she didn't.
That would've been freaky.
But she's a college-educated, beautiful woman. obviously, she's no Kate, but yeah, from Richmond, and I was like, okay, that's weird, right? And then you find out that Shia LaBeouf going to Jupiter.
Yeah, which is like 45 minutes from where we grew up.
We have fucking friends from Jupiter, you know?
Played Jupiter growing up in football like every year, growing
Yeah.
up in Pop Warner and stuff.
Fucking, I used to wrestle against Jupiter.
Yeah.
I had fucking plenty of friends that wrestled at Jupiter. Fucking, he starts talking about the Indian River and shit like that, the biggest estuary, and I'm just like, all right.
Yeah, I was
This
like,
is interesting.
this is a little too familiar.
Yeah.
I know where that is. I've been on that river.
Yeah, so there's just a lot of
Real world connection.
yeah,
Yeah.
just like
Random
weird
shit.
coincidences, and
Yeah.
I was just like, okay,
Somebody made this
Bingo.
movie for you.
I was like, a bingo, like that's gonna end up fucking being my most favorite movie of the year.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm just fucking really excited. That movie had so much heart, and it's like there's certain movies I like it when they can hold up a mirror to me and fucking like make me think about like the better sides of myself.
Yeah.
And there's certain aspects of my life and shit that like I don't know if it's just from I don't know, like being away, you know, like Craig was just like such a huge part of my life.
Yeah.
Right. And it made me fucking weep once I started watching that movie and just like thinking about like all the times that like I've taken Craig to the movies, you know, like and fucking sitting in Five Guys with him and like talking about his day and stuff and like what work is like, you know, and I was just like, oh shit, I fucking miss my brother. So yeah, that movie obviously hit me really hard for those reasons. Like, let's talk about something that we haven't even addressed yet. There's a very like palpable environment to this movie.
Yes, I was thinking. I very early on thought about your thoughts on True Detective, and how you talk about how Louisiana is a character,
Right?
Virginia's a character,
Right?
Or Virginia down to
Right.
North Carolina, wherever,
Exactly.
whatever route they travel that way. Virginia, it's very palpable, like you said. Yeah, and you catch it really early. It's from accents. It's from the type of people they cast. It's from the way things are shot. It's from the settings, the
Right.
locations. Like this, from the very moment that Shia LaBeouf's boss like fired him, quote unquote fired him, I was like, oh, they're really taking the setting seriously.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, I wouldn't say it's as good as like especially like season 1 of True Detective, because that's just like, to me that's like peak. That's
Yeah.
like that's how you fucking have an environment like in any kind of TV show or movie. Like that's prime example of that. This, they do it really well, and I definitely did think about True Detective season 1. I also thought about Tom Sawyer a little bit. Like,
Well,
Huck
it's
Finn.
basically a Huckleberry Finn story, and they literally say that in the middle of the movie. He's like,
references
"You ever heard of Huckleberry Finn?" Yeah, it's basically that type of movie.
That first fucking when Shia LaBeouf interacts with Dakota Johnson,
It's
that
so good.
That fucking meet cute.
It's so good.
God, it's so good. Shia LaBeouf is just killing it.
Yeah, and it's interesting because there's a real switch that flips for him in that scene from who he's been in the movie up to that point, and then like who he could be. You know what I mean? And we see that switch flip the second he sees her.
I fucking love his character.
Because he's like, he's in the fucking backwoods of nowhere,
Right.
trying to steal from this dude at a gas station, and he sees this beautiful woman walk in, and he's just like awestruck.
Well, he's not even stealing from the dude.
He does. I don't know if you caught that. He never paid the dude.
I thought that they just didn't show him paying.
I mean, I kind of like the whole time he was like, I assumed he had no money and was constantly trying to get.
I think that if he was going to steal, then he wouldn't have like dwindled down what he was going to buy.
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
Maybe.
And that's
I think
why
it's
he
one of
took
those
off-
things
that's
where
why he took off
it's
his
not
shotgun and
it's
shit.
not very specific, so you can kind of interpret it however you want.
I think that they just didn't show him paying for it.
Maybe.
They could have, like, I don't know. It might have been like, oh, the guy who's running the gas station is just cool with it. He was like,
Well,
whatever,
he
you're taking
obviously
away.
was like he was
Yeah.
like, I'm worried about you, son. Like he had
Yeah.
that, and he gave him that alcohol and shit.
Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, I made it myself. And when he drank it, he said, yeah, you did.
But Dakota Johnson walks in, the gas station guy,
And he's just
attendant.
holding this bottle.
Yeah, he's just holding that fucking growler or whatever of whiskey that this gas station attendant made. And the gas station attendant's like, "I'm sorry, but you're one of the most beautiful
Yeah.
girls that I've ever seen."
I'm sorry if I'm staring.
and then Shia LaBeouf just goes right in.
Yeah, he
He's
goes for it.
You want some of this?
Yeah.
God, it's such a good fucking meet cute.
Yeah.
And it has subtext as well. You know, like
Well, because she literally puts a picture of Zach in his face and is like, "Have you seen him?" And he dodges the question. And he starts asking questions about him to learn about this dude that's been following him around.
But it's also like really good causality there for him. Like, okay, so because Shia LaBeouf thinks that she's hot, right? He starts hitting on her. And because he starts hitting on her, she doesn't give him his number.
Yeah.
Right? Which, like, I don't know. To me, I was like, oh, well, like, even if Shia, like, did want to
turn,
contact her
return,
and, like,
connect her
have.
and Zach. Yeah.
He couldn't.
He couldn't, yeah. Until she finds them on the beach and Zach's passed out.
From drinking all that whiskey, dude.
And then he throws a key. Oh, it's so good.
What's rule number 1, dude?
Dude, he improv that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Zach improv that line. I just read that in the trivia.
great.
Yeah. They said like the first take, he improv that line.
What's
What's rule number 1?
Party.
Party.
Yeah.
Let's talk about a little bit about how good the side characters are. Bruce Dern. I mean, we can make jokes about it, but just without any dialogue, John Bernthal, like just the connection that you feel in those flashback scenes of what Shia LaBeouf and his brother had.
Yeah.
John Bernthal, John Hawkes, who's like scary, Thomas Hayden Church, like they're all like really good.
Yellow Wolf fucking slides right in there as like a really good
Yeah,
character
he was
too.
good. He was good, yeah.
Rat
I mean, he was a
Boy.
little dick. His name's Rat Boy. Like, his name is a perfect, like, that's what he is. He's a rat boy.
Yeah, all the side characters.
Bruce Dern was funny as shit. He's not in it a lot.
Solid.
He's just in the beginning, but he's funny as hell.
Yeah. Yeah,
used to be an
the
engineer.
casting is fucking perfect, man. Just like everybody just seems to like slide right into the role. Like this movie is a fucking John Hawkes movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
well, you
just
said that
very
when we
much-
saw the trailer. You were like, I couldn't imagine this movie being made like without John Hawkes. in it.
Yeah, exactly. Like you show me a rusty pickup truck.
Yeah.
Like where's John Hawkes at?
Yeah. Rail thin John Hawkes, like scarily thin. Where it
That's
makes
when
me
he started
more.
to
It
get
makes me
good,
more afraid of him.
That's when he started to get good. Dude. When he started getting super thin
Uh-huh.
and like wiry and fucking started speaking in a deeper voice. That's when he started getting scary and good.
I would say like I would have loved one scene where like we heard John Bernthal and Shia LaBeouf talk.
Yeah,
I would have loved that.
I would enjoy that.
I think that would have been really good. Just because I know John Bernthal would kill it.
Yeah,
I fucking
obviously.
love John Bernthal. He's so good. He would just go and he'd go, "Hey, I'm the Punisher."
Was there anything that you didn't like about this movie?
No,
Really?
I don't think so. Like,
Okay.
there's no point while I was watching it where I was like, "Oh man, they should have changed that." Right? Like,
Okay. I had a couple things.
Yeah?
I had a couple things. I think that there's a little bit of melodrama. There's like a little bit of things that are just a little too saccharine, especially towards the end. I think, and first off, the end was like way too quick for me.
okay,
And like they tried, I think that he had that like the idea in his head of like, oh, this is the end, and like we're gonna have this little twist at the end, that like Shia is actually alive, which is a little bit predictable. I was fine with it,
yeah,
but
Great with it.
But like the problem was that it like sort of brought down other parts of the movie. Like specifically the end, I wanted it to be longer.
I would have
more
liked
of
to
a
have seen
denouement.
that conflict resolve. You're talking about John Hawkes and Shia LaBeouf's conflict.
I mean, he fucking got beaten up, so I'm assuming that John Hawkes went to jail or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, so that's
I thought it was just some vigilante justice.
maybe. I'm assuming that like that the debts are paid
Yeah,
at
yeah,
that
yeah.
point. You know, he sent him to the fucking hospital.
Yeah.
That doesn't bother me.
Okay.
What bothered me was like I wanted more of a denouement with.
Nice pronunciation.
Thank you. I'm taking a lot of French. So. But I wanted that with Shia LaBeouf's character as well as Zach.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they definitely could have had more.
It's just it kind of had that Karate Kid ending. It's just kind of like it kind of ends really quick. And the cupcake, that it was Zach's cupcake when he was at the hospital.
Dude, he was giving him all his wishes.
I understand, but he's like all by himself and he has like a cupcake and he's like blowing out his candles. And I was like, that's like, I feel like you're overplaying the loneliness here because like Zach has
a family now.
He has Eleanor. Yeah. You know, and like Shia ends up being okay. So it
didn't bother me that much because we see where Eleanor is in that moment. She's just getting news from the doctor.
In that specific shot, like she wasn't in the shot.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like we saw where everyone, like in terms of stage setting, we know where he is and where she is, and then he gets up and walks away.
But to me, that's like even more of an example of like how that.
I mean, that just made me think that he was afraid for Shia LaBeouf, and and it was a direct callback to something he said to him earlier.
To me, it's illogical.
In a moment where like Shia LaBeouf showed probably the most vulnerability he did in the whole movie. Mm-hmm. When he was like, I'm going to give you all of my wishes for my birthday. And Shia LaBeouf like started crying. Yeah. I liked that.
Mm-hmm. No, I enjoyed the entire birthday thing, that like elliptical dialogue that kept coming up. I really enjoyed it. And then
I love what it says about Zach as a character when the saltwater redneck says like, say the meanest thing you can think of to him when you get in the ring. Mm-hmm. And he says, you're not invited to my birthday. It's just like he's such a sweet dude. Like, that's the meanest thing he could come up with.
When Thomas Hayden Church said that, when Saltwater Redneck said that to Zach, I was like, he's going to say something like that. Like, I expected it, but I was when he said it, I was like, oh, that's so perfect. It's so perfect. But yeah, I wish what they did was instead of making it like completely visual at the end there, like have the doctor say that that Shia is okay, right? Then they all three of them are in the hospital together, right? And then he has the cupcake with them.
Yeah,
I would have been. Yeah. And then you go from that to them riding in a car, going down to Florida. That's what I would have wanted. To me, like it was just a little bit too.
Were you okay with the sort of surrealist way he threw the dude out of the ring?
So at first I was like, oh, this is bizarre. This is kind of absurd.
So I thought it was cool. Like when he lifted him, I was like, that's cool. Mm-hmm. And then he chucks him and he goes like,
he flies.
And I thought he was going to throw him into John Haas.
I think that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, I think that's why they did it.
Yeah. So it's like kind of surprising that John Hawkes ends up getting to him. But the way I think about it, I'm like, that's no matter what happened with Zach while he was in the ring, right? Whenever
that's how he felt,
makes that decision, that like he's going to be courageous and he's going to stand up to this bully.
He's going to kiss that woman on the head when he gives the audience high fives.
Good, it's so good. But yeah, I was like, that's how he feels when he's in there. When he fucking
that's good. I didn't think about that. That's a good point.
Yeah. So I was completely
fuck Samson. By the way, he's an asshole.
Yeah. Fuck
fucking
Samson.
Dick. Jeez, can't fucking just go easy on him?
Yeah.
Come on. Oh, you think this is a fight? You think you can come down here? I've been doing this for 35 years. You think you can come? Shut up.
Fucking dick.
Come on, man. Saltwater Redneck said take it easy on him.
I know, right?
That was kind of like there's just like, there's so much, the characters just feel so real. When Shia LaBeouf goes up to his door and Thomas Hayden Church answers it, like you can feel immediately that he's a dude who's like lost something. Mm-hmm. It's just so palpable. And there's so much throughout the movie that's like that.
Yeah.
Oh, so good. Oh, we haven't even mentioned fucking blind guy.
Oh, yeah.
Jeez. He's amazing. He's hysterical. Mm-hmm. Are you God-fearing?
Have you seen this boy?
She's like, sometimes, and he's like, all right then, why don't you come inside and we can talk about Jesus?
Yeah, he's like
I ain't seen shit.
He's like a reverse Jehovah's Witness. Like people come to his door and he ends up
converting them. I like that I'm more of a baptism by fire line. But that was in the trailer, so like I knew it was in there. But
I didn't know.
Yeah, it's a good line. It's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's such a fucking good character.
Yeah, man. Shia LaBeouf's character's amazing.
I love how
Tyler is the character.
Yeah, so Tyler. I love how Tyler responds to taking care of Zach.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of see like the two different sides. You see Eleanor's side as well as Tyler's side when they're
sort of the
on
doting
the
side
raft.
versus the treat him like an adult side.
right.
Yeah.
And they're both very real sides,
Yeah.
and there's like pros and cons to both.
Yeah.
But like I've heard Connie Dane has told me this specifically before, and I think this is one thing that like goes even farther than taking care of people with Down syndrome or whatever. I think this goes into parenting as well. But like,
which you're an expert on.
obviously, all the kids out there that I forgot about. No, but she was like, you have to care enough about them to let them do their own thing. Like you have to let them do it.
Yeah.
Like you can't just babysit them the entire time.
Yeah, and I loved like how quickly you could see like it's in that same cornfield scene, but it's right before Tyler meets Eleanor for the first time, and Zach's like, "I want you to know about me," and he turns around and he says, "I'm a Down syndrome person," and Shia LaBeouf like pauses, and then he walks up to him, and he just goes, "I don't give a shit." You're just like, okay, this is who this dude is, and he never stops being that dude. I don't give a shit. Are you going to slow me down?
Yeah. Oh man. But he also from the jump like treats him with respect.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he treats him like he would anybody else.
That's not John Hawkes or Rat Boy.
Yeah, because they're dicks.
Because they're
They probably hang out with Samson.
They're trying to fucking shoot his hands as payment.
That was kind of gangster.
Yeah.
That was a cool
Left hand or right
dude,
hand.
Let's talk about this, okay? Because like I don't think that we talked about this enough, really. Like, because it's not just like like a journey, like a homeward bound, like
there's like a whole like real scary conflict.
Yeah. That
Shia
he
LaBeouf
might
is literally a
fucking
man
die.
on the run.
He might fucking die.
Yeah. I mean, it's partially because he made a really brash and stupid decision when he burned their equipment. It's gangster, but he shouldn't have done it.
I really enjoy those kinds of those movies and like stories and shit that like take place in this kind of environment, and like you just like just feel how fucking real it is. And
Well,
the
when
kind
he
of
goes on the run in the Glades, I feel like that was like a really good example of that. Like right after that scene when he burns down all the cages and they chase him on the water, and he turns the boat off and hides it behind all the reeds and stuff, and they're looking around for him.
Yeah, it had some like Butch Cassidy and Sundance kind of shit to it. There's just like a really scary conflict, and they're getting chased down. By
Plus,
Rat
like
Boy.
he in that same moment finds a dude in the back of his boat throwing up, and he just like rolls with it. He's just like, who are you? And then he punches that kid. That kid might be the most evil person in the whole movie. That kid's a dick. He can't swim. I don't care. What's wrong with you, kid?
I love all of the like the shit that you see Tyler do that like I wouldn't do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like he punches a kid.
I probably wouldn't have punched that kid.
No, you would just run. You would save.
I probably
Zach.
would have pushed him.
You would jump in the water and you'd help Zach.
Yeah,
but you wouldn't assault a child.
Yeah. But I was like, oh, man, I'm so glad that he did.
Maybe I would like also push the kid off the dock.
Right.
Because like that's not as bad as punching a kid.
Right.
That kid, he'll be fine. If you push him off a dock, he'll be fine. But, Shia LaBeouf's just straight up cold cocks him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't.
I don't
It's
think
just
I have
great,
anything else
man.
to
It's
say
just great. It's a great movie. Now, the downside of this movie is it's on like an insanely small release right now. We live in Los Angeles, and there's 2 movie theaters showing it. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's
So
a pretty packed theater, though.
Yeah,
I wonder if it like can get a wide release.
I feel like it should. It did really well at Sundance. It won some audience award at Sundance for something. I don't remember what. I don't know what the Sundance awards are. Or was it Sundance or South by Southwest? I don't remember which.
Is there any way this could get you think this could get Oscar?
It might.
Buzz?
Maybe. I think if it stays small, it probably won't.
You never know, though.
But yeah, but if it does get Oscar buzz, it'll get a re-release and get a wide release. So
for sure.
I would love to see a movie like this get Oscar buzz. That'd be amazing.
could definitely see
I think Shia LaBeouf would deserve it.
I think Zach might get it.
I think Zach got. God damn it,
Gottsigan.
Gottsigan would deserve it. Yeah, I don't know about like stuff like screenwriting or direct. I don't know enough, and not everything. The problem is we haven't reached Oscar season, so you never know. But I would, if I saw either of those dudes on the Best Actor nominated list, I would be extremely excited about it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. For sure, my favorite movie this year.
Yeah, it's up there for me with Booksmart.
I enjoy Booksmart a lot. Like Midsummer is my close second. Like I think Midsummer is just it's a better movie.
Yeah, it was South by Southwest.
South by Southwest was the festival.
Yeah, the festival.
Gotcha. I ain't got nothing else to say.
Yeah, me neither. Except that we have a poll.
Oh shit, we do.
Yeah. I haven't looked at it in a while. I assume it hasn't changed much, but there's a pretty commanding lead. So if you want us to watch Neon Genesis Evangelion and not Cowboy Bebop to do a spoiler episode in 2 weeks, you better get voting.
Or if you also want to vote for Cowboy Bebop.
Well, yeah, you can keep voting for Cowboy Bebop, but it's it's doing a good job.
Yeah, no, but like
so it's like if you're a Neon Genesis Evangelion
what if you
fan,
wanted Cowboy Bebop to win?
Then feel good.
And then it ends up losing.
Then feel good and as football coaches all around America say, put your foot on their throat.
Every vote counts, kids.
Put your foot on their throat until they don't breathe anymore and vote for Cowboy Bebop. And we got a Q&A episode coming up.
We do.
Ask us questions. Ask us things like, hey, Chris, what is your favorite book?
Right. And then I would answer Holes by Louis Satcher. Digging
up them holes. The movie starring Shia LaBeouf.
Full circle.
I haven't seen that movie in forever.
Holes?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fun. I follow the...
Do you remember the rap from that movie?
Huh? Dig it up.
That's where everyone learned that Shia LaBeouf could rap.
Dig it up on holes.
Interesting.
You
could ask me things like, hey, Kyle, power rank the... oh, my God.
What?
Wait, no, I literally spent like 30 minutes the other day, and I can't remember what it was. I was like thinking about characters from something, and I was like trying to power rank them in my brain, but I can't remember what it was.
Characters in cowboy movies.
No, that's not what it was, because I don't know enough about cowboy movies.
Well, that's kind of why it would be fun.
But why would you ask me that? I don't know enough.
It's funny. Because you'd be like, oh, Shane. From Shane.
What? I would just be like, True Grit's a movie. There's cowboys in it.
Mm-hmm.
John Wayne was a lot of cowboys.
He was a lot of cowboys.
Yep,
yeah.
he was a lot of cowboys.
Right.
Leo DiCaprio pretended to be a dude who pretended to be cowboys recently.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, that's all
it's
I got.
Almost like Inception level.
Yeah. Was Django a cowboy?
Also starred Leo DiCaprio.
Leo DiCaprio.
Full circle.
Was Django a cowboy?
I mean, he was a slave turned cowboy.
He's a bounty hunter, but was he a cowboy?
To me, that qualifies. I mean, it qualifies. Yeah, that should qualify as a cowboy.
Did he ever boy a cow?
Like he's not like if you could be a sheriff of a town, right, and still be a cowboy. It's not necessarily like an occupation.
It's not a job title. It's an idea.
You know,
it's a feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. So ask us what we think a cowboy is.
Hit us up on our Twitter, Facebook, whatever. You know.
Are you gonna do it? Are you gonna do the thing?
What?
Say them.
What?
Say the things.
No. I'm saying like.
Oh,
for
come
the
on, you can do it.
I'm saying for the questions specifically.
Yeah.
Anywhere
you can find us.
Anything.
Twitter @tcaks pod.
Text us.
I guess some people could.
I think our entire audience.
Yeah, that's true. Our entire audience knows us. Text us. tcaks pod on Twitter. The Chris and Kyle Show on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all the podcasting platforms. You could be like, man, I'm really loving listening to this podcast, and I'm on my phone right now. I'll slide up in that iTunes app, and I'll leave a little comment, review, and I'll be like 5 stars, Ask a question.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Kyle, what's your favorite Harry Potter book? I'm not going to tell you. You have to ask me.
Yeah.
I could power rank the fuck out of the books and the movies if you want. I'll tell you my thoughts on that shit.
I guess if you want to hear something
I'm
boring
passionate about that shit.
like that. Yeah.
I got deep thoughts.
Slide
And I'll tell you
up
this.
in
I'll
our
tell you
DM.
this. The bottom of the power ranking, I'll spoil one part. The fucking bottom of the power ranking of the books is Cursed Fucking Child. Get that shit out of here.
That's a cop out, dude.
No, it's no, it's not. It just deserves to be shit on. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
I reread it recently, so I'm a little mad.
You reinvigorated your end. Like, did you try and give it like a second chance? Where you're like, you know what, maybe.
So I read it like when it first came out, and I had that overwhelming wave of like nostalgia because I was like, it's just so cool to like be reading something that new with these characters again.
Mm-hmm.
And I got through like the first half, and then I read the second half, and I was like, wait, this is bad.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not good. It's got a lot of
Man,
dumb
that's
shit.
rough. You know what's not bad? Peanut Butter Falcon.
Peanut Butter Falcon is great.
I loved it.
What are we doing next week? Do you know? Because we are his nation.
We are his nation. We are the world. We are the children. I don't know.
There are children. Trembling Nation, stand up.
Oh shit!
Because
Son of a
we
bee.
are doing spoilers for Good Boys next week.
Son of a bee.
We're going to watch Jacob Tremblay cuss. And then we're going to talk about it. It's going to be great. Come back. We'll see you. We out.
We out. Stay weird.